Hi everybody, Sean O'Kane here with Chip Estimate TV. We're here at DesignCon 2015 in Santa Clara, California. My guest today is the chief Cadence blogger extraordinaire, Mr. Richard Goering, right here. And the other guy, the editor-in-chief, Brian Fuller.
Good to see you, Sean, as always.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Anyway, we're here in the Cadence booth, showcasing the Allegro Sigrity solutions for signal and power integrity. A lot of good energy here, a lot of people through the booth, a lot of great conversations. However, what I want to do is touch on, this is the 20th anniversary, Brian,
yes, it is,
of DesignCon.
The 20th anniversary, and this has got to be the craziest I've ever seen. The show floor is just completely packed. It seems much larger than last year.
It is.
There's a completely different vibe and a different energy. And I love that they kicked it off yesterday with sort of an homage to the beginnings of electrical engineering. It was Thomas Lee, an engineering professor from Stanford, and he talked about the laying of the transatlantic cable, which was fraught with experiment, fraught with disaster. It effectively took a decade to make a consistent connection. But in his eyes, it was the birth of electrical engineering, because things like amperes and ohms and other electrical nomenclatures were then standardized, and it gave rise to the IEE in England and what we now know as electrical engineering. So it was a nice choice of a keynote, I thought.
It's, yeah, a great historical, did you know, kind of a thing. That's really cool. Now, but anything else about the keynote that interests you, other than the historical factor there, Bri?
Well, other than the fact that he sees optimistic upside for innovation going forward, the big takeaway was it takes milk to be innovative. And by that he meant money, luck, craziness, and I think, a little bit of insanity.
You call it milk?
Milk, yeah, M-I-L-C. Because,
money, insanity.
Yeah, money, insanity, luck, and craziness. And money, obviously,
right,
because you have to fund the project. But the more ambitious design engineering projects need a little bit of craziness, because sane people wouldn't do it, because it just seems impossible. And if you think about throwing a cable across the Atlantic from United States to England, that's, in the 1850s, just nuts.
Now, you, Richard, you just, I believe, just got out of a panel today.
That's right, that's right.
And what was that about?
It was about high-level modeling for IP enablement.
Okay.
Semiconductor IP. And it was quite interesting in that it had different perspectives on the panel. Had a couple people who were involved in using IP, buying and using IP, a couple people involved in developing IP, two people from Cadence, who of course could provide the vendor point of view. And it just underlined how difficult it is to, first of all, develop the stuff. It's so complex.
Yeah.
You've got to develop for so many different standards and speed rates and that sort of thing. And then you've got to verify all that, all those different standards and speed rates and test benches and so forth. The users want it all. They want accuracy, they want silicon accuracy, they want speed, they want diagnostics, quite a long list of requirements or wishes. And the vendors are trying to provide that sort of thing, but it's challenging on all sides.
What kind of technology do you think will make a bigger impact to the industry? That anything that you have seen here, or that's it's part of the discussions or the panels?
Well, I think this has always been kind of a signal integrity jitter kind of conference. I was looking around the show floor here a little bit, and there's I would call it anything high speed, anything and everything high speed, from cables and connectors to oscilloscopes to a little bit of EDA here and there.
And it's just so much more complex today, right? I mean, here in the Cadence booth, we're talking chip package board, right?
Yeah.
And the multi-fabric complexity that design teams have to deal with today is extraordinary. So there's sort of a fascinating ongoing collaboration between vendors like Cadence and their customers to identify these problems, especially in, as you said, the high-speed world, and solve them as quickly as possible.
So thank you very much for spending a little bit of time talking about all the things and the exciting things happening at DesignCon 2015. So, for Mr. Brian Fuller and Mr. Richard Goering, my name is Sean O'Kane, and we'll see you next time on Chip Estimate TV.